Hello and welcome to ThePrint. We are in Dharamkot, which is above Dharamshala. So, other than being home to a number of tourists and a number of travelers, Dharamkot is now also home to digital nomads. Digital nomads are people who make the conscious choice to work remotely, even if in some cases that means taking a pay cut. In many cases, they are people who work in tech, who work consultancy jobs, but they prefer to work out of serene surroundings, be it in the mountains or in the beach. This rise of digital nomads also means that there are now spaces to accommodate them. One such space, for example, is Nomad Gaon, which is a startup that runs in both Goa and in Dharamkot, which is geared towards the digital nomad community. So this essentially entails having a co-working space, having high-speed Wi-Fi, and also hosting a number of community events that are key to kind of cultivating a digital nomad community, which is with like-minded people and also consists of certain networking opportunities. Digital nomads tend to live out of a smattering of co-living spaces which were initially targeted towards foreigners. Following the COVID-19 pandemic, the trend was kick-started in India, and tech workers from various Indian cities began to populate places like Goa and Dharamkot.
2023, I happened to find a job that was 100% remote, and that was all the motivation I needed to pack up my bags from Delhi and become a full time traveler.
And so, what has your kind of traveling consisted of? Like, where all have you been so far, and what are your like after Dharamkot? What are your plans?
So, as an Indian traveler, we are constrained a bit in terms of visas and all, but I have been fortunate enough to get a chance to travel across Southeast Asia a bit and also a bit of Europe. It should not be a bubble, it should not be a nomad bubble. So, certain places are completely insulated. The nomad community is completely insulated from the local way of life. So, they exist completely untouched by the local culture and the life there. So I don't really prefer going there, and that was my experience with a place like Bansko in Bulgaria. People come there from across the world, but they exist in a bubble. They don't really interact with the Bulgarian society. Um, I prefer going to a place where I can take my time getting to know the city, the people, the way of life, and also having a community of fellow nomads. That is very important. Um, Co-living spaces are a wonderful option because that allows me to have my own kitchen, have a community that I can access at any given point of time. What else? I think these are some of the non-negotiables as far as I'm concerned.
And so far, I mean, in your travels, what is the one? Is there any one place that has really stood out to you in particular that has kind of met all of these parameters?
The closest I've got is this small town in central Vietnam called Hoi An. I thought it's got a wonderful digital nomad community and also a very rich, vibrant culture, slow pace of life. So yeah, and then it's just 45 minutes from Da Nang, which is a big city. So at any point, if I need my creature comforts, and there are some creature comforts which are non-negotiable, for example, access to a gym, which means that I can't really go off grid anywhere. I still need to be in a place where I have access to all these things, good internet infrastructure, because I still have to work. So in those aspects, I think Hoi An was wonderful. There are also entrepreneurs who are monetizing on this cultural shift, like Mayur Sontake, who runs Nomad Gaon, a co-living startup with locations in Goa and in Dharamkot.
Dharamshala or Dharamkot particularly has everything to be a digital nomad destination. It has got a great culture, nature, of course. There is an interesting mix of Tibetans, Himachalis, and Israelis in Dharamkot for that matter. Uh, you know, it's a melting pot. The food is good. There are a lot of cafes. So when digital nomads go to a place, they look for the ecosystem. So the ecosystem is already here. What was missing was a co-working, co-living space, and I thought if we put it up here, it would be perfect. And we started Nomad Gav Dharamkot in 2022, and since then we have attracted digital nomads from around the world. also from various parts of India. We have hosted team retreats of teams which are working remotely. They come here once in a quarter, they meet at a place. They choose Nomad Goa Dharamkot to be that spot, work together, build that culture that can be built remotely. You don't need to go to office to build that culture. And then we have hosted global digital nomad groups like Hacker Paradise. They travel around the world, different places, work from different places. They come to Dharamkot and they're coming back to Dharamkot again next year because they loved it here.
And can you explain what a digital nomad is? Who are the kinds of people who are staying here?
Yeah. A digital nomad is someone who has the flexibility to work from anywhere and uses that flexibility to travel around, right? So remote work comes in various forms. Even people who work from home, they are remote workers. People who go to office twice a week and work from home 3 days a week, they are hybrid remote workers. Just like that, there are digital nomads who have the flexibility to work remotely all the time and use that flexibility to travel. Um, Before COVID, most of the digital nomads were freelancers or solopreneurs. But COVID really gave a push to a lot of people who had full-time jobs to be digital nomads because a lot of companies have turned remote now. So in turn, lot more people have the flexibility to work remotely full-time, and some of them have chosen to call themselves digital nomad, chosen this lifestyle. Um, Similarly, people who are working in hybrid remote setting uh, because of COVID, a lot of them are now choosing to dip their toes into digital nomad lifestyle by traveling for a week. They start looking for remote jobs, and once they get remote jobs, they just fly and be digital nomads. So we have seen that trend happening.
Sir, so could you tell us how the nature of tourism and the kind of tourists, how that has changed in Dharamshala over the years?
Yeah, see, as I was sharing with you, now earlier we used to have only foreigners, coming to Dharamshala with the longer stay, having plans for the longer stay, say for a couple of months. But now the only change is that we have Indians also; those are coming to Dharamshala with the longer stay, and especially the Indians with the corporate backgrounds. So we have a lot of executives, senior, junior, whatever, say they are coming here, they are staying here, and with the concept of a work from home.
This is Antara Barua reporting for ThePrint. Please follow us on our social media channels.